Hello all, welcome. It's time for some Late Night Marquette, the show that is already crumbling down after only 2 episodes. And I mean 2 episodes pretty loosely, about 1.5 at best. Because if you happen to have looked at the MUTV YouTube channel as of recently, you might have seen that there's only the first pilot episode of Late Night Marquette up. And strangely, the second episode seems to be missing. You do have to trust me, it did exist at one point, and it was uploaded. It was just also taken down. Now, I bet you are wondering, why did that happen? Because just based on the fact the show only had like 10 viewers before it was taken down, you probably didn't see the show. Well, essentially, in the show, I did a monologue about the current state of late night TV. You know, about how recently there have been a whole slew of hosts who have been getting in trouble for the jokes they made on their shows. Now, at the end of this monologue, I made a bit of a joke. A joke about how, unlike them, I was not being held back by my network, and how since the show is on the World Wide Web, I could essentially say anything I wanted. So, I almost as an act of dominance, I made a joke. You know, a little tiny, just funny little cigarette ad. You know, as a joke. It was comedy. I wasn't actually trying to sell cigarettes, unless, you know, any cigarette companies want to reach out and, you know, I can be bought. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. Please don't take down my show again. You see, with my last show, The Man didn't think that this fake cigarette ad was funny, and so therefore had the show taken down. Now, I feel it's a bit ironic for a show that talked about all these late night shows getting terminated for the jokes they made to get taken down. But you know what? Kimmel got his show temporarily suspended because of the jokes he made. Colbert got his show canceled because of the jokes he made. And now me, Jack, and the show I made joins them in being taken down because of the jokes I made. And you know, I guess that just makes me one of the martyrs of late night television. You know, put me up on that Mount Rushmore of late night TV greats, because Late Night Marquette is pushing the boundaries of comedy to places they have never been before. Not necessarily funny places, but definitely a place nonetheless. Listen, in the future, I'll try my best to make jokes that I won't make jokes that may possibly get this show taken down, because this show is already on thin ice. I mean, 1 or 2 more incidents like this, and we're gonna get the good old Yeller treatment. Yeah, you see what I did there was I repeated a joke that I did on my second episode, which I can do because, again, no one has seen it. It's great. I can steal jokes for myself with no consequences whatsoever. And so with that, we have a great show for you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Late Night Marquette. Oh my gosh, guys, it feels good to be back behind this desk. I feel powerful here. But you know, for the monologue today, since we're, you know, teetering on the edge of cancellation, I'm going to have to come up with a good monologue topic to save this show. So, I mean, let's see what we got here. AI's impact on consumer PC part pricing. Well, crud, we are screwed. Seriously, I had a whole break to come up with a new story topic, and this is the best we got? I might as well start packing my bags now, because this show is doomed. But you know, it's not over until it's over, so let's try to make this work. Let's see here. Our story here begins like many others do, with one of Adobe's products refusing to function properly. Yes, that's right. I was using the beautiful dumpster fire known as Adobe After Effects. Now, if you have ever used After Effects before, one key thing that you probably know about it is this program is a RAM guzzler. It will chow down on any possible free bit of RAM it sees with no concern on what pain it will bring to your computer. Some truly generational greed. You can call it Kiriko. I mean, this program takes so much RAM that in comparison, Google Chrome looks like it is fasting. At this point in time, I was sort of getting fed up with the fact that my project was lagging like crazy due to running out of RAM. So I was considering upgrading my computer from 32 to 64 gigabytes of RAM. An upgrade that, in my mind, should have been relatively cheap. I mean, my computer is leaning towards the older side now and uses DDR4 RAM instead of the newer DDR5 RAM. And so realistically, I was expecting to spend anywhere from like 50 to 70 bucks, which made it all the more shocking when I got to Amazon and to see that 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM was over $200. Now, I'm no genius. In fact, quite the opposite. But when the price for my head is that different from the actual price, I start to consider, start to ponder even, maybe, just maybe, something may be up. And so, I put on my, I put on my little detective hat. Yeah, that's right. Despite being on the verge of cancellation, we still have the budget for a little detective hat. I put it directly on Marquette's business card, just to spite them. Looking at the price history, though, it's crazy to see how the price keeps climbing to significantly over double the original retail price. Like at the start of 2025, the 32 gigs of RAM would have been around only $50. So heck, not just double the price, it is like quadrupled. Oh boy, the significant price hikes. How fun! And so to find the cause of this, we're going to actually have to look deeper to find the true story within the story. What the man is hiding from us. The deep state, you could say. I mean, who am I kidding? It's AI companies. AI companies are buying up all the RAM. Because someone once told this Mark Zuckerberg social network ripoff that a data center a day keeps the doctor away. But he has to understand, it doesn't. That's why you don't ask ChatGPT for medical advice. Oh, golly. Jokes like this are why we're at risk for cancellation and a lawsuit. You would think with jokes you would think that joke was so bad it had to have been AI, but no, came straight from the noggin. It has the real human touch of a bad joke. Back to AI companies slowly ruining our lives, though. Looking deeper at the rising costs from RAM companies to find you find that the market for RAM manufacturers is essentially just three companies: Micron, Samsung, and SK Hynix. And you see the headlines from these companies are not promising if you're a consumer who wants to be able to purchase things at, a reasonable cost. I mean, we get Micron removing its consumer RAM company altogether. Samsung can't even get RAM from themselves. This is a real headline, by the way. The PC parts market is so bad out there that these PC part companies can't even get their own products. No, but in reality, this headline addresses how Samsung Electronics, which is the part of the Samsung's business that does things like their phones and laptops, is struggling to get RAM from Samsung Semiconductors, which is the part of their business that actually makes things like DRAM. And unfortunately for consumer-facing products, selling these chips to data centers essentially makes them a lot more money. And the sickos building them out have essentially endless money. So they have an endless money supply right now, and so are willing to pay pretty much whatever. Also, I get that all this Samsung affiliate company stuff is a bit weird and convoluted. The whole suite of Samsung's affiliate companies as a whole is a bit confusing and convoluted and houses such gems as Samsung Life Insurance, so you can be with Samsung even after death. It's actually crazy how many different businesses are under the big Samsung umbrella. But the wacky craziness doesn't actually stop there for Samsung. While looking into Samsung for this piece, I happened upon this Wikipedia page for Lee Jae-young, the current chairman of Samsung. Now, normally, I would just gloss over this page as realistically it's not that important to this story, but I just so happened to notice this section titled Monetary Kickbacks and Perjury, Arrest and Conviction. A section that, mind you, was significantly bigger than his career at Samsung section. And just skimming through this section, it's absolutely insane. It essentially goes over this big perjury and bribery case for him to gain control over Samsung, which apparently had a big role in the impeachment of the Korean president at the time. Like, what? Frankly, this topic alone deserves its own monologue, but for now, hey, Samsung, if you're watching this, we're good, right? This is just a joke. I love your products. My phone, it's a Samsung. It's all fun and games. Please don't hate me. Back to AI in consumer electronics, though. The rising costs of these valuable chips, whether they be for RAM, graphics processing, or graphics processing across the board, are starting to show a clear adverse effect to the consumer electronics market as a whole. It has led to things like companies resorting to things like selling computers without RAM. Yes, you know that part which is crucial for the computer, the product that is being sold, to, work. It is not being included. It's incredible, but honestly, understandable. Listen, I'm not one to defend these massive companies over price hikes. But when I see headlines about these consumer electronic companies having to raise prices because of the rising costs, I get it. I mean, realistically, there's only so much of a financial hit these companies can take to their margins. I mean, at the end of the day, they're businesses, and the day they stop making money is the day they cease to function. And now, do I think that some of these companies will use this whole situation as an excuse to raise prices in the long term? I mean, at minimum, it's possible. But even if that does happen, I get it. My boy Marky Z needs another yacht. And who are we to keep it from him? Am I right or am I right? But realistically, if these AI companies keep spending the way that they are now, the question for them becomes, is the money that they are spending actually worth it? I have no doubt that in the long term, AI will change the business landscape as a whole. Heck, it already has. You'd be remiss if you didn't think that most companies now don't use it in some way, shape, or form. But that does not necessarily mean that it is worth the money spent. How valuable, the value AI will create, like how much value AI will create in the marketplace. Is it worth the billions to trillions that is being invested into it? My personal guess is a resounding no. Recently we've started to see more cracks forming in the AI hype. Just recently, Dell acknowledged that consumers don't really see AI as a selling point now. Now I get that Dell is a consumer-facing product here. Like, they're talking about consumer-facing products. And this is not really the area AI bulls believe the money is. But I still do think it hammers home the point of asking, how much value does AI actually bring? Like, we have companies like Microsoft combining their Copilot AI with Microsoft Office, and that does well, but the Office suite is a product that was already selling anyways. How much value is AI actually bringing? I don't know. I feel crazy. And it's not to mention companies like DeepSeek in China, who are essentially making their own reasoning models that compete with companies like ChatGPT, OpenAI, for a fraction of the cost and compute power by allegedly training on these outputs of these more expensive models. Again, bringing into question if the money in compute being spent are even worth it, when another company can then just come along and make a comparable model for, again, a fraction of the cost. In the end, there is no way to know for sure, but personally, my prediction is, again, like a resounding no to, is AI worth it? And frankly, for the price that consumers, I just want the price of consumer-facing technology to come down again. That's it. Because, low-key, I don't even really like AI that much. I think you could tell that from the monologue, though. I guess in the end, the moral of the story is that I hate Adobe. And with that, we'll be right back right after these ads.
Did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd?
He got a collapsed lung from vaping.
He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma.
It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
People couldn't see my potential, so I had to show them.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
Today, I'm the CEO of my own company.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Why are we not rethinking this?
I am more.
I'm more
than who I am on paper.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/act now.
And thank you for watching the ads. They're the only thing that is keeping this show afloat after, Marquette yanked away our multi-million-dollar budget after the controversy. I mean, look at this set. It's falling apart. I mean, I'm not supposed to say this, but recently we've been having a bit of a rat problem here at the studio. I've been having to come in after hours to help take care of this rat infestation, as apparently I'm good to hunt rats because, quote, it takes one to know one. So that's a thing. Frankly, I don't think I get the respect I deserve around here. I mean, this is a first-class television show. If student media was sports, this show would be D1. This would be a D1 show. Oh, golly. Sorry, this light is really bugging me. I'm just gonna go fix it real quick. Oh, yeah, like this light, it's out. That's ridiculous. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys. This is it's embarrassing. Oh, perfect, it's back. Oh, golly. Where was I? Listen, I don't want to make it sound like I'm complaining, which I am doing. I just don't want it to sound like I am. Listen, I just want to be shown the respect that I so badly crave. No. I deserve. Maybe just at minimum, there's just a clean studio that's not infested with rats. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I shouldn't be dumping this all on you. You came here for a show. Not to hear me complain. Just give me a couple seconds to collect myself. And we're going to finish this so strong. I mean, oh my gosh, is that a flying rat?
Yes, it is I, Bartholomew, and I am flying a flying rat. I have been brought back from the dead after you killed me.
I killed you?
Yes, but that is in the past now, Jack. I have been watching you and do this show for a while now. And quite frankly, it's trash. Luckily, I'm a rat, and I like trash.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know how I feel about that.
Listen, Jack, it may feel like this show is at rock bottom, but now it's because it is.
Oh.
But keep going, because heck, maybe you're the pineapple pizza of MUTV catalog, but that's probably because someone out there likes pineapple pizza.
I mean, I like pineapple pizza.
Well, that explains a lot. Oh. But with that, I must go. My people need me.
Bartholomew, wait, before you go. Will I ever see you again?
Maybe not. I come and go as I please. But just know I will always be watching over you, no matter what. No matter where you go or what you do. And remember, no more cigarette jokes, or else I'll flood Johnston Hall one more time. Goodbye.
Oh my gosh. So he was the one who flooded Johnston Hall. It makes sense now. Before this show started today, I was really questioning if this was all worth it. I mean, making this show is a lot of work. And frankly, guys, I'm tired. But after that chat with Bartholomew, I guess maybe, just maybe, this show should be canceled after all. My name is Jack, and this has been Late Night Marquette. I'd like to thank the crew for making this possible. They're great. I love them so much. And thank you. Good night. See you in 2 weeks.